Hello, welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. Steve is already laughing. That's Steve, by the way. Steve, say hello.
Hey, what's up? Happy Insurrection Day.
Yeah, we're recording on Insurrection Day, the 1-year anniversary of when the Patriots attacked America. The American Patriots attacked American democracy. What's up, Rob?
What's going on?
Rob threw me for a loop. Sorry. All right. I'm composed now.
Yeah, I made Steve laugh. I said Happy Insurrection Day right before.
But, yeah. So what's new?
Shit. What's new with you?
I got my Incredibles poster. I like that.
That looks fantastic.
It's one of my favorite movies.
I set up my Moon Knight guy. He's over there. I don't want to move my camera, so
Guys,
yeah, that's good.
Just imagine it. And now I got Lenny's waiting for me in the fridge downstairs, so let's hurry up.
Oh, okay.
Had Lenny's yesterday.
Did you guys watch Boba Fett?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Oof. Please stop yelling. You gotta, Rob or Steve, move your mic further away.
Don't Jesus tell me Christ. What to do.
Please.
Don't tell me what to do.
That's so loud. I already have severe hearing damage.
What'd you say?
Anyway.
There, I just moved the mic. How's that?
That is a little difference.
Better. Okay.
I feel like you leaned forward afterwards. All right. So Book of Boba Fett Chapter 2 came out this week. Full spoilers going ahead. So if you haven't watched it yet, not that there's a whole lot to spoil, but I got to say, I like the direction they're going with the show. I'm kind of a little more into the flashback stuff now. I mean, it seems like they're doing two storylines basically about Boba Fett. So we're getting like the history of Boba Fett starting with the Sarlacc pit. And I assume we're going to find out how he meets Fennec Shand. And a lot of it's about his relationship with the Tusken Raiders. But this one was a lot more interesting. Not a lot of time spent in what I would call the present, although we did get to see those two. Weren't those two huts in like the animated series?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if it was the same ones, but because
how many hut twins are there?
Right.
Oh, there were twins in the series? Oh, I thought it was just one or the other. I didn't know it was both of them in the series. I don't know. I'll have to watch that again. You sound way too calm about this episode. I fucking love this episode, man.
Oh,
really? Dude, who the fuck? I had to look up.
Sorry, my Deadpool head is talking to us. Just probably turn that off.
I didn't. I just kept going through it.
I didn't think Shawn would like it because it was a flashback again.
Yeah, but it's.
I'm surprised you guys. I'm surprised you like it as well as you did. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was anything spectacular.
I fucking love this episode, dude.
Yeah.
So, from the beginning, when the freaking Jabba's the door to his palace opens, I got chills, man.
Yeah.
And it slowly opens. I was like, member berries.
That's who that was for.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah. And Return of the Jedi was like my favorite, so I watched that the most.
You know what's funny is when I saw that door opening, here's what I thought to myself, and I am not making this up. I was like, oh, some idiots are going to get excited about that. But meanwhile, that's literally just the door to Jabba's palace.
Yeah,
everybody calmed down.
You know what I was thinking when the door opened up? I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, I wonder how much it costs to make that door, if that's a real door, or if that was CGI. I was thinking cost.
I was guessing like CGI.
Yeah, this time CG for sure. Back then, probably not.
Yeah,
definitely not. I would say.
And we got to see the fake out Rancor, like fake that dude out. I was like, you got to see his the throne thing move in place into position again. I was like, oh, I told you, man. I like the member berries.
You do like,
and then the whole episode was great. And then fucking Black Chewie, holy fuck, that dude looked awesome. Yeah, I looked him up. His name's like Black Chrysanthemum or something like that. Black Chrysanthemum. I guess he was in he was in the comics. He's in Darth Vader #1. Black Chrysanthemum was his name. But dude, that guy, he looked yoked, man. That guy was scary as hell. I was like, I'm in a fight with that dude.
He had a growl more than he did,
Oh man,
Wookiee.
he looks so awesome. What'd you think, Rob?
What? Of what? That part
yeah.
Or the whole story?
No, just the Black Chrysanthemum.
I didn't notice he was black. I'm not a racist.
Rob's like,
that's his name. They named
race.
him that. They named him that. I'm not trying to be racist. That's what his name is.
Ask Deadpool about Black Tom.
Let's see here. See if he's got any.
You think just because I don't have a body, I can't kick your... Well, let's dance.
All right, that's what Deadpool's head has to say.
Okay.
I wish they wouldn't bleep him out. He needs to just cuss.
Right. Yeah, but I thought the episode was solid. I mean, again, they're doing the slow burn thing, and they kind of showed the viciousness of Boba Fett, like when he goes into that bar, whatever, the biker bar, and starts kicking ass. And so again, they're showing how he's trying to stay restrained now. And then I'm also curious, like, the back to tank thing implies that he has some sort of illness or something's wrong with him. I'm guessing maybe because he's a clone or something. I don't know. He's having some degenerative issues, maybe. So maybe that plays into it. Fennec Shand was great. She had some great lines. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she's a good little like counterpoint to Boba Fett.
Dude, the mayor. I love the mayor, man. The way he sounded and everything. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
I always wondered how the Ithorians talked, and now I know.
I knew you would know what the name of that species was. I was like, Shawn will know. What are they? Ithorians?
Yeah, the Ithorians.
Hammerheads. Yeah, I thought the mayor was sweet. He's voiced by Robert Rodriguez. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he does. Which does he do? Like the synthetic voice, like the translated voice, or does he do the throat voice?
I have no idea.
Because he had like two voices. Like he would start talking, and then he clearly had like that translator plugged into his side mouth.
I figured they just recorded his voice and then messed with the acoustics or whatever.
Okay, it's probably just the talking voice. I'm guessing that would make the most sense, like that translated voice.
I heard that the two people in the bar with the bikers, were actually people in a deleted scene in one of the Star Wars. I guess they were supposed to be.
Chapter 137.
All right, I gotta turn this off.
The Dark Phoenix saga. Locked in the battle with their friend.
All right, sorry about that,
guys. We should just replace me with Deadpool. Yeah, I heard there was a deleted scene in one of the Star Wars, and those were supposed to be Luke's friends at the Tashi Station there.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they were the same characters as his friends, but it never made it to the final cut.
Interesting.
So I was like, oh, that's really cool.
That is cool.
So yeah, but I like the train. I like him getting to get his own. I liked his the Star Wars peyote trip or whatever that was. Little lizard with the nose.
Well, ayahuasca.
Yeah. And
watch out for that Geico.
The Geico lizard.
He saved 15%.
But
on bad trips,
on bad spice.
Overall though, it was a solid episode. I mean, they're clearly gearing up to something. I don't know what. I mean, obviously some sort of battle. Now we got the Hutts in there, which I was actually wondering. I was like, do the Hutts care about the fact that this was Jabba the Hutts? But they didn't seem to mind having Bib Fortuna in there, so I thought maybe they wouldn't go that way, but they did. They came in. I like all the references to the fact that he doesn't have a litter. That always makes me laugh. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your litter, and he's just like, Jesus Christ, I don't have a fucking litter. Like,
I thought it was cool to see how, like when Boba's like took the throne, I was like, well, how are you gonna just, where's all your muscle and all that stuff?
Right.
And then we learn about the Tusken Raiders, and now we learn that they, he's pretty much, they're controlling the trade route basically by letting people pass, with the Tuskens. I was like, okay, there's some power he's got now.
Right.
So I get it why he's challenging people now.
See, I don't think it's going to end well for that family or Raiders. I just got a feeling he's doomed them by getting them involved. That's
half of them already are dead for the train job.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think that it's going to end well for the Raiders? I'm liking the Raiders, man.
Nah,
right? I don't think so. Who knew I would ever care about the goddamn Tusken Raiders?
Yeah, especially when Anakin was like, I hate them. The women and the children too. Well, yeah, I'm really enjoying the show, man. I thought you guys would be way more excited for this episode, man. Introducing some badass characters, got some Hutts back. Whether or not he's going to get permission to kill the Hutts, I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Well, like I said, it's a little bit of a slow burn still. Like the train stuff, had some action, but I'm hoping they're building to some actual real impact on the Star Wars universe at large in some way. But we shall see. Still way better than Hawkeye, for instance. It's about Boba Fett, so I appreciate that they kept the the title character the focus of the show. Thank you. I didn't know that was something. I didn't know that was a challenge. That was something that was hard to do, but Hawkeye they couldn't pull that off. So
yeah, man. Like I forgot about Marvel. I was like, Marvel's done to me. I was like, can we get Jon Favreau back on Marvel, please?
Right. Like they just. Yeah, when I saw that Eternals was coming to Disney Plus, I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is. I will never watch that movie. Are you going to watch Eternals when it hits Disney Plus, Rob?
Probably not.
Since I ruined it.
Yeah, I might have to see the scenes I missed.
Yeah, because what scenes would those be?
The credits.
The credits.
The gay kiss. Hey, did you see they introduced the Pikes? Remember the Pikes from Clone Wars?
Yeah.
The Pikes.
That was the guys on
Crime
the train.
Syndicate.
The guys on the train were Pikes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't remember their name. I recognize those masks, though. So, yeah. I forgot about that. Because the episodes I remember them from are from, like, some of the more recent ones with those two sisters that I hate. So,
yeah, that was it. They were holding them captive.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about. I'm glad you reminded me of that though, because they're very powerful. So
yeah, and they dealt with the spice trade just like in this, So
I did like. They're like, "What is spice?" And then that thing just flies open.
It's like that's spice.
That's why I think those Tusken Raiders are dead, because those guys in Clone Wars were pretty wicked, man.
Yeah.
They were ruthless.
Yeah.
So we don't know the fate of the Tusken Raiders yet, or at least that clan anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see where it's going though. They have my curiosity piqued for sure, and I'm always excited to watch the new episode. So that's good. Does anybody know how many episodes it is? Is it 8?
I think it's 8.
Is it okay?
I don't know though. I'm not positive. I thought I heard that.
So yeah, overall I'm enjoying it though. Yeah, I liked it.
I even like the intro. Oof. I'm loving everything about this, man. I was like, oh God, get me away from Marvel. Thank God for Star Wars. You think it can end as good as the last season of Mandalorian, like something that awesome?
I will say no. The first season of Mandalorian didn't even end that awesomely, so I'd be surprised.
Freaking Skywalker! Don't get any bigger than that.
You didn't like the ending of the first season of Mandalorian?
Yeah,
no, I didn't say I didn't like it. I'm just saying it wasn't hugely epic like the second season was.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
It was
you gotta stop seeing everything in binary just because I say this one wasn't as good as this one.
No.
The first one bad.
I thought it was awesome. I thought IG-11 sacrificing himself, and then you get to see
it was
the
good.
Darksaber. I'm like, oh.
He didn't say it was bad. He's comparing it to the Luke Skywalker appearance.
Right. The Luke Skywalker one blows it out of the water, is what I'm saying. No matter what. That's just...
So how do you top Luke Skywalker? Is my question.
Don't. That's what Shawn's saying.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Rob.
There's got to be a way. You
can't.
Him.
I don't.
All right. Well, go ahead and tell us how.
The Emperor comes back again.
Oh,
all right, you're off the podcast. The podcast is
done. A third clone. I don't know. There's got to be a way. You can do it.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Obi-Wan.
He's got his own series.
Seeing Obi-Wan is not nearly as exciting as seeing young Luke Skywalker. Nobody's going to think that.
Yeah,
dude, that was prime Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. It's exactly what you wanted to see. You wanted
Luke
to see
Skywalker you could only read about in the books and in the comics.
Yeah. That was the Skywalker that lived in your imagination, basically. And we got to see it realized. So it's going to be incredibly hard to top that. And I don't think they're necessarily going to try to. Like I said, I feel like they're establishing something here. I could be wrong, but I feel like they want to establish like a real presence in the universe for Boba Fett, for his legacy or something, is what I think they're going for.
So you're a big Boba Fett fan. What did you envision Boba Fett doing as a kid? Like, did they do that in Mandalorian when you first saw him, or do you?
Well, no, Mandalorian to me almost encapsulated like what I thought of Boba Fett, just like a badass gunslinging Mandalorian. Boba Fett, the direction they're taking it now is not what I envisioned, but I would say the episodes of The Mandalorian is kind of more, I guess, what I thought. But just a badass bounty hunter, basically.
So I think you would have envisioned him being more of a bad guy. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't. I did.
Really?
I pictured him being like, because I don't think the Mandalorian as a good guy per se.
No.
But like I just envisioned him being like just like a neutral guy who takes jobs, who could fight Jedi. Like I wanted to see him fight Jedi or Sith or whatever.
Yeah, like in what's that game we play?
So Battlefront. Or
yeah,
like when we got to see Jango Fett take on Obi-Wan. Stuff like that. Like, oh shit, look, they can go toe to toe with Jedi. Like that's pretty badass.
Till their heads roll.
But
do you ever see that meme of Boba lifting up his dad's helmet and the head falls out the bottom?
Oh, that every time I watch that scene, that's what I think happens. Like that's like my memory of what happens in the movie. Like I may have seen the meme, but even when I remember sitting in the theater and I was just waiting for like a thunk, like because it just makes sense, right? Like
yeah. Like, there's nothing holding it in there anymore,
right? Must have a chin strap or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's just how every time I see that scene, I like wait for it to happen. Like I need the Lucas cut on that one. Like go ahead and add that one, and that's the one change I would like to see him make.
So you don't think maybe Luke could show up at the end again and give us all?
I think that would be dumb.
they just keep doing that at the end of every Star Wars series.
Yeah,
like, don't here's Luke killing everyone.
So I think what's going to happen is multiversal rift will open and then somebody from the MCU will show up. That's what's coming next. They're just going to make it all one universe. And like Star-Lord's going to come out and he's going to be like poop farts. And everybody will laugh because that's kind of what his dialogue level is now.
Did they
Star-Lord's like, that's poop farts, scratch my balls. It's like Star-Lord's whole character now.
Did they ever do a Marvel Star Wars crossover in the comics or anything?
I don't know. Not that I know of, but I couldn't say definitively.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it on What If.
Wait for it there.
Yeah, that could happen there.
That's what happens in the very end of Disney Plus. They just give us everything.
Let's mix it all together. Which I'm not real big on crossover, so I don't want to see that. Keep the universes separate.
All right, so we think he's going to gain power and then just take over the whole territory?
I don't know. I honestly haven't thought of it because it's like it's not the kind of story I would tell. Like I could never tell like a crime lord story because it's just not my forte. It's not my strength.
You're more the Dear Matt. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, you want to talk about Daredevil?
No, I'm just saying. We'll get into that later.
We can get into some Daredevil. That's why we're here, right? Let me get my iPad here.
I tried to describe disintegrations to the kids, and I was like, I don't know how to put this. I was like, you're there, and then you're not. I was like, remember Endgame? Remember when they all disappeared? I was like that. But I started to say like your bones melt, and I was like, I don't know if I should be telling the kids this.
Yes, you should stop sheltering your children. Jesus Christ, they have to. The apocalypse is gonna be in like 4 years. Give them some goddamn preparation, bro. Jesus Christ,
I don't want to strap a freaking gun to their back already.
You don't have to.
They're still
Not yet.
They're 5 and 6, man. I don't want to think about that yet. Disintegrations. Rob's falling asleep.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it late, so here we are.
I had to eat.
Let's see.
Gotta eat.
You do gotta eat. It's
gotta
important.
Keep this beautiful figure of mine.
All right. So let's talk about Daredevil from 1998, issue number 1. Kevin Smith was the writer. Joe Quesada was the penciler. Jimmy Palmiotti on inks. Brian Haberlin on colors, and Richard Starkings on letters. I'm going to be focusing on Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada being one of my favorite artists. I love his art style. I love his skill level. Everything he does just like pops right off the fucking page, man.
Have we done any other comics with his art? Have we reviewed any before?
I don't remember, so I don't know.
On the Marvel app, like, you know how they tell the names, like writer, whatever, and sometimes they have a picture next to the name. He's the only guy. Like, they didn't even have Kevin Smith's picture. They had.
Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because Joe Quesada is like,
big
I
time
forget
Marvel.
what his. Yeah, he's moved up. He's like, I don't know he's an editor now, I think. I don't know if he's like the editor in chief or something like that. I can't remember, but he's like the big man over there now. But he still draws from time to time. He'll still, and if not his favorite character, it's one of his favorite characters, possibly his favorite, is Daredevil. So he likes to do Daredevil stuff. Like the Daredevil Father miniseries. Let's see if it says what he does now, because I am curious. Let's see now. I think he's an editor.
He's been canned.
Editor in chief.
You've been sacked. And everyone that worked with him got sacked.
Okay, he was editor in chief. Then he became chief creative officer. He stepped down in 2011. I don't know what he is now. He said he continues to work for Marvel Entertainment, with his position retitled as executive vice president and creative director for Marvel Entertainment. So that's what he's doing now.
Executive vice president.
Big time.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's been instrumental in a lot of successful. So this whole imprint, like, I don't know if you noticed, there's an imprint. It says Marvel and then it says Knights. So Marvel Knights was a whole imprint that started around this time. It was an initiative that I think he was one of the people to spearhead it. This is also, like, I don't know if this was the very first, was Daredevil that launched it, but there's a few books. And the other one was that Punisher that we read just a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. That was part of the Marvel Knights line. So it was just kind of like this, I don't know, just bringing a slightly more adult angle, not R-rated, but kind of stepping it up in that regard, a more mature line of comics. And it was very successful. This was Punisher. I don't remember what the other titles were, but he was a big part of that.
That means adult oriented. That means more reading, Rob.
More words. See, Rob likes reading long articles, but he doesn't like reading comics. This is very confusing to me.
I don't like reading comics with a freaking 65-page letter that one of the characters is writing to the other one. That's what I don't like.
No, but Sean's saying you read these long ass fucking Atlantic articles
because I care what's going around out in the world.
So Rob hates a comic.
I don't care what's going on in this comic.
Right.
But sometimes you read opinion pieces, though, which I don't genuinely care about.
I do sometimes, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, just develop your own opinions. Don't read other people's. Wow, this is a long letter, though. He's not wrong. But
Yeah.
But
and then she starts it again. I made it all the way to 8 the other night, and I was like blind from reading all these goddamn pages.
from reading words.
Yes, from reading words. And then I was like, oh my God, she's penning another letter. I'm done. I'm going to bed. I was like, I'll pick it up in the morning.
All right, so what he's referring to is a character named Karen Page. If you've watched the TV series, you know she like worked for Matt Murdock. In this, she was a previous lover of Matt Murdock. By the way, I love, like, she's actually probably my favorite character in the Daredevil TV series. Like, I love Deborah Ann Woll, the way she plays the character. I like the character, the way she's written. She's just the most practical. Like, Daredevil's out there like punching everybody, and she's just like, I'm gonna get a gun and fucking shoot this guy. You know what I mean? Like, she's just, I'm more in line with her thinking than Daredevil and his weird Catholic. I can only break people's bones. I can't kill anybody. So yeah,
is Batman Catholic?
No, thankfully he doesn't go on these long Catholic rants. But
his girlfriends don't pen letters.
They do write letters. There's letters. You haven't read enough Batman yet. You'll get some letters.
There's letters.
So anyway, so the basic premise for this storyline, and it's been like literally a month since I read it now. So Steve, you're gonna have to help me with this.
Oh man, this has been a month for me too. I thought we were gonna do it 3
maybe
weeks
Rob will
ago.
help me with this, and Rob's like,
I
just looked at the pictures
yesterday.
Like, I just saw the pictures.
No, it's
didn't read anymore.
It's about
so basically the premise is Karen Page has been away. She had a history of using drugs in the porn industry. She had like a real down area of her life, and now she's been told she has AIDS. And
there's more to it than that. You
right, what are you doing?
Right to the end there.
What are you talking about? This is the stuff. These are the points of the story that stuck out to me the most.
I have AIDS. That was a shocking panel. Like, what? Where did that come from?
Did you even read the story?
Oh yeah, I've read it. Yeah. But again, these are the points that really stuck out to me, though.
All right.
So she has a lot of guilt about this, and she's confessing all this stuff to Matt, and Matt basically is kind of a judge. He kind of vacillates between like a judgmental dickhead and being like a supportive guy. And it all turns out it's all being manipulated by Mysterio. She doesn't actually.
You got to start with he's Catholic. He's very religious, and so there's supposed to be this girl that comes to him that had a virgin birth, and it starts there, and he's trying to save this kid. Like he finally meets up with her, and then she had a vision of angels telling her
to give the baby to him,
right? And he will protect the baby, and so that's like the main story there.
And that was the main story to me was like everyone has AIDS,
right?
AIDS.
That was a big knife right through the fucking story. I was like, what? It's like screech. The car stops. Like, what the fuck did she just say? Like, was that a splash page? Is that how that one ended? Was it like, I have AIDS? Next issue.
We still haven't, like, the story still hadn't got there yet.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone gets drugged basically by Mysterio.
No. You can't say that yet. He doesn't know.
So he already said the main guy was Mysterio. We can say Mysterio now. He already ruined the whole story.
I'm not trying to recap every issue. I was just kind of to give the main points. Mysterio ends up being the villain, and it's like a surprise reveal. You're like, oh shit, that's what's happening.
Right.
And I remember
Shawn blew it.
Go
ahead, Rob.
The whole point was he thinks it's supernatural. It's like God and the demons. He thinks it's like he's made to believe that this whole thing, because what's his face was playing on his religious background this whole time. But it was
the way he was doing that was basically he had convinced him that this was like some Messiah child.
Right.
Matt Murdock believed it because he was under the influence of Mysterio. So he makes a lot of stupid decisions because of that.
Right.
And then it turns out the whole reason Mysterio is doing this I think it's funny that he goes after Daredevil instead of Spider-Man because he's a Spider-Man villain. So that's another reason you don't even suspect him really is because he's not really a Daredevil villain. Or at least that was my thinking the first time I read it anyway.
See, this is what I didn't understand because he wanted to go after Spider-Man, but they said something like it wasn't the Spider-Man that he knew or something. So he had to...
Yeah, that
what was going on in the Spider-Man comics at this time?
That's what I was thinking. I was guessing it was another universe of Spider-Man.
No, not a universe thing. It's I try to remember if this was around the end of the Clone Saga or what was happening at the time. There was something going on in comics at the time with Spider-Man so I don't know if this was where they wrapped up the Clone Saga and it turned out it was Ben Reilly the whole time and not Peter Parker, and then they had to backpedal that.
I thought they showed like a Spider-Man in a black suit or something, or a different suit than is normal.
Yeah, that's the Scarlet Spider. That's the Ben Reilly Spider-Man.
Okay.
So it was, but there was also this whole thing where it was like Ben Reilly had been Peter Parker. All this, the part of they told comic readers at one point that the Spider-Man they had been reading about all these years was not Peter Parker. It was Ben Reilly. Like it was like one of those
what a mind fuck.
And the readers were angry as fuck because they're like, "What?
Hell yeah!"
And yeah,
it's like one of those TV episodes where you find out everything's a dream. You're like, "Fuck!"
Right? Yeah, and it's just so they had to retcon that then because the readership was so upset about it. But I'm guessing that's what that was referring to. Yeah, was the whole Clone Saga thing.
It just cracked me up because he wanted to go after Spider-Man, but he's like, it's not the Spider-Man. I'll settle for Daredevil.
Right.
He's like, I'll just fuck with Daredevil's world.
Because Mysterio is also dying, not of AIDS, I don't think, but
cancer.
He's got the big K, cancer.
And Mysterio lied and he played the doctor and just faked the test results. So she didn't have AIDS the whole time.
Right. Well, they were all they were all drugged. Karen was drugged. Foggy was drugged.
Not at the time that not at the time he said AIDS. They were drugged. Yeah, whatever. They were drugged to think that they had to take the baby to wherever. That's where the drugs came in.
Yes. So and the drug whenever
Foggy got drugged and like slept with.
Thought he threw a woman out of window or whatever.
Yeah, and slept with one of his clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the worst. Well, besides Karen, who died, but
Karen spoiler.
Dude, that's what we do on the show.
You already said it was Mephisto, or
that's what we do on the show.
We got to see the point of the story yet, Rob. We're not there yet.
We're not telling the story. We're just
dude.
relating.
It's a joke. Shut up. I'm just fucking with you guys.
We got to see Doctor Strange and Mephisto in this comic, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, Mephisto.
And you see how Doctor Strange is like very cocky in the comics and stuff. I like that carried over into the movies. And that's my familiarity with Doctor Strange. I've never read a Doctor Strange comic. It's always when he pops up in Spider-Man or something. That's all I know of Doctor Strange. Kind of like the last movie.
What do you know Mephisto? Because I kept hearing, is it Mephisto in WandaVision? And it never was. So right,
that was another thing they teased in WandaVision or whatever that never happened. But Mephisto, again, he's popped up as a bad guy. So he popped up at a very pivotal point in the Brand New Day Spider-Man storyline that No Way Home is kind of based on, where Peter goes to Mephisto instead of Doctor Strange. He goes to Mephisto to make a deal because Aunt May is either dying or dead. I can't remember which. And he makes a deal with Mephisto to save Aunt May. But to do it, Mephisto's like, all right, but you have to give up like who you are. Nobody will know who you are. You won't be married to Mary Jane anymore and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So but the editors did that. The reason they did that is because they decided that they're like, man, we don't like telling stories with a grown up married Peter Parker. How do we end this without him getting divorced or something? So that's what they came up with, was the Brand New Day thing. And then him and Mary Jane, like, I can't remember. I think they still know each other maybe, but they don't, I can't remember how it worked, but they weren't together. And it was like they were never together. And Peter Parker was the only one who knew they were together or something like that at some point. And I think there were some other things that got changed too, but I don't remember what.
What did Mephisto get out of it?
I don't remember why he wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think he got a really nice thermos, and
this will come in handy down there. Hey, so is he supposed to be the devil or just a demon?
He's basically Marvel's Satan. It's basically Satan in the Marvel universe is how I would describe him. Yeah,
I was like, is there a Satan? Marvel.
So because Mephistopheles, whatever, it's another name for Satan. So, but yeah, he's basically the Satan of the Marvel universe.
Okay. It sounds like Strange is pretty powerful in this one because he had him at bay.
And that's the thing. Strange is very powerful, so he's portrayed pretty well in the Marvel universe. So, like, the whole thing with this comic. So I read this back in '99 or so. I was down in Memphis. I remember, read it, and I really enjoyed it back then. I didn't enjoy it as much this time, but I think it was possibly the first Daredevil comic I ever read, and I think I was blown away by it because I didn't see the Mysterio thing coming, and that was probably the biggest thing. This time, my takeaway was more like, man, Kevin Smith is just working through a bunch of Catholic guilt. Is all I can. That was my biggest takeaway from this.
Yeah,
he was fully ensconced in the religion, and he was just working through a bunch of whatever. He was playing it out through these characters that he came up with. So it's like I enjoyed it a lot, but I also didn't like it at all. I feel two ways about it. There are parts I really, really enjoyed. The whole scene in the church, again, just having finished Daredevil season 3, like that whole showdown in the church where Karen Page dies. She doesn't die in the show, but she gets killed by Bullseye, right? Is that who kills her in this?
Bullseye, yeah.
Well, she jumps in front. She jumps in front of Daredevil to save him.
Gets the fucking nightstick in the heart or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they have it's very similar to season 3 of Daredevil, except Bullseye's running around in a Daredevil suit, which is asinine. But anyway, but yeah, a lot of that I could tell was based on this, and just also the reveal of that nun being Matt Murdock's mom. That was also in season 3, so they clearly lifted a lot of stuff.
I remember
that. So that was kind of cool.
What'd you think of Daredevil using his teeth as a weapon? Matt Murdock knocked his teeth out with the nightstick, and then
And then you mean Bullseye?
Or Bullseye I'm sorry, yeah. Bullseye, yeah. Bullseye threw his teeth at Daredevil and could have killed him, but he blocked it with his nightstick. I was like, nice. Because isn't Bullseye the one he can kill with any weapon, basically?
He's a marksman, and he could
be a weapon.
Right.
Okay.
And Hawkeye has been portrayed as that too. I remember, like, I've seen Hawkeye kill guys with like paper clips and shit like that, like flicking paper clips across the room.
Yeah, that's how the comic that we read ended. He used one of those little collar, those little plastic inserts for your collar. That's how he killed Kazi in the comic. He used one of those, hit him right in the eye.
Yeah,
I was like, nice.
So yeah, Bullseye and Hawkeye are always. That's always a good thing to watch, just because they have the same kind of skill set there with the marksman stuff. But yeah, so the Catholic thing, like Rob was saying though, there's a lot of dialogue or just writing, I guess, not necessarily dialogue, because there are letters and stuff, but
the letter from the monk, remember that one, Rob? The story she was telling.
So that stuff.
How's your Catholic guilt, Steve?
I don't have any.
Got a little. That stuff did get a little tedious. So I can agree with Rob to an extent, but the artwork on this just fucking amazing, dude. Daredevil looks great. Mysterio looked great. That big reveal splash page of Mysterio.
I have AIDS. Oh, not that one.
Everyone has AIDS.
That was great. That's so 90s.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
It is a very
such a big deal.
It is kind of funny in that regard. Yeah.
Everybody's going around getting their AIDS tests. So like, whew, that was close.
But that Catholic guilt thing again, though, where you could kind of tell Kevin Smith himself was looking down on this character he wrote because she was in the adult film industry and because she used drugs, and you could tell there was like a judgment there, even though like he worked through it ultimately, or Daredevil worked through it ultimately, or whatever. But
that was one of the reasons she left initially, right? Because she kind of felt that he couldn't let certain things go.
Right. And so like he definitely put himself into the character of Matt Murdock. So I just don't know how I feel about well, Steve, you had said a few weeks ago Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, but I would say Daredevil is more Marvel's Batman in that he's a little bit more popular, he's been around longer. And I don't know. But I mean, I'm not saying you're incorrect though. I just mean like as far as known characters and stuff. But the difference being Matt Murdock is not rich, and he's blind, and then the Catholic thing too is a huge part of it. So I just go back and
so
forth.
Not Batman. So not Batman. At least Stephen Grant's
like,
loaded. He's got
somebody,
a moon cave.
Well, no, I mean, parallel wise, you're right. But what I mean is like as far as like popularity. And just kind of being around. Batman's been around, has always had a book. Moon Knight doesn't always have a book. I mean, I don't even think Daredevil, I think his run just ended too. But I just mean kind of like as a fixture in the Marvel universe, you got Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America. I think more people would put Daredevil up there before Moon Knight. Now, I'm not saying they can't change. And you're right. I mean, again, I'm not saying you're wrong because you're right. He has more parallels in that he's rich. He's got, the gadgets and all that kind of stuff. But what I mean is like, by Marvel's Batman, it's just more relatable. Like he's just a guy. He's got to go to work every day. You know what I mean? He's not a billionaire playboy. He doesn't have access to all these resources around the city and 300 other. He doesn't have Dare Boy and Dare Girl and Dare Woman and Dare fucking car, and he doesn't have all that stuff. So in that Marvel way, that people are just more relatable, down to earth kind of thing. I forgot where I was going with that though. I've derailed.
You have derailed.
Yeah.
But you're talking about.
He's got the Catholic thing that is always just because I have issues with religion and everything like that. But it's a huge part of his personality, though. We'll talk after the show.
We got to see Natasha Romanoff.
So
and we found out she used to date Matt.
Yeah,
I didn't know that at all.
Matt Murdock.
Yeah. Did you see a bunch of stuff Kevin Smith put in, like nods to...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
The graffiti and stuff like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
like nods to
graffiti.
The SMOD.
They had...
SMOD universe.
On that Catcher in the Rye book that Bullseye had, he had all the names of the comic book men on the back of it, like reviewing.
Oh, I see. I didn't catch that because I'm not familiar with that show.
Dude, there was a whole scene with Nakatomi Plaza. Did you see that?
I did see that, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I did catch that.
He dropped a lot of nods to movies and stuff in this series and to his own movies.
Which I thought the View cool. Askew-niverse. That's what it is. The View Askew-niverse.
Yeah. I walked in. I turned the page of that one panel. I was like, "Oh my god, this is exactly the lobby from fucking Die Hard." I was like, the guy, even the guy looked exactly the same
or whatever.
Yeah. The security guard.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's hard for me to grade this one. The art gets a straight up 4 out of 4 because it's just perfect. And Joe Quesada could draw a potato, and I'd be like, "Whoa, you got to see this potato." And then the story I go back and forth on it. I give it like a 2.5 out of 4. I can't give it a 3 just because, to Rob's point, it does get a little over long and overwrought with some of the writing.
Mm-hmm. Rob, I'm going higher. I found out a lot of stuff. I didn't know Bullseye's skeleton was reinforced with adamantium. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yes.
I learned a lot in this comic, but it's my first time reading Daredevil, so I guess I would learn a lot. But I thought the ending was cool. I loved how Mysterio Mysterio beat him, kinda, but then Matt just shit on him at the end, basically, by cutting him down with words. I was like, ooh, man, this is gruesome. Like, he totally guy's already got cancer, man. You don't have to, you don't have to cut his heart out, too, with words. But, and then he ended up killing himself, and he mentioned Craven. He gave the Craven reference. I was like, yeah, that was our first comic we read. I was like, I know that reference. So I thought it was good. I didn't mind the Catholic stuff, maybe because my wife's Catholic, so.
You're Catholic.
Your kids are Catholic.
You are Catholic.
There's no Catholic guilt here for me.
No, but you are literally Catholic.
Oh, okay.
You signed up.
Okay. You say
yeah.
you told me.
Before you got married, did you have to go through classes?
No, I didn't have to become Catholic. I just
But
had to go to I had to go to
what?
classes, but I did
Oh.
not have to become a member of the church.
Oh, and actually, what it actually comes down to, he didn't have to go to classes. He had to give them a bunch of money, is what it actually was. You have to pay us to bury this chick. It's
Well,
basically
yeah,
what
of course. I
Catholic Church
mean, they
said.
got to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Gotta
If you want to
keep the lights on, man. Come on.
Like, you want some Catholic poontang, it'll cost you. So
they help the homeless, man. They take care of the needy. That's where my
so do
money
other
goes.
organizations.
They're like, Steve's like, could you? He wrote on the envelope. He was like, this is not to hide a child touching priest. By the way, don't put it in that fund. I don't want my money going to move them around. I want it to go to help the children they've touched. Thank you.
This goes to the nun fund that they can touch kids. That's the fund. Yeah, so not Catholic, but nice try. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'd give it a 3. Rob?
I give it a 2.
Hey, Mason.
Too much reading? Too many letters?
Take your
letters.
mom's meds to her.
Just too much blah blah blah. I didn't really care.
I liked it.
I didn't care.
I think Rob's reached a point with comics where he doesn't care about any comic now. Like, he doesn't like anything.
You didn't like his suit? You don't like the way Daredevil looks or anything like that? Or
I have to agree with Shawn. The artwork was good. It was pretty good. I did like the artwork. I did not like the blah 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 blah. Man, just
I get it. Is that what you're saying? The story.
I get it. Yeah. No, it was a nice twist. I did not see Mysterio coming in. Did not predict that. I didn't know if I thought they were going like supernatural, especially when they got like Mephisto.
Hey Rob, when you were reading it, were you doing panel by panel or page by page?
I have to make the panel big so I can
Okay, so when they revealed Mysterio, they were doing it like parts of his suit, one panel at a time. Like, did you recognize the suit? And you're like, oh, that's Mysterio before you saw the bubble head?
Not until I saw Fish Head.
Oh, okay. I recognized I recognized whatever these things that hold his cape. I was like, oh my God, it's Mysterio. Because I was doing the same thing you were, panel to panel.
So I was cross-eyed by them because I had just had to read another letter from Karen Page. So
I'm gonna Rob got his mail, he had a letter from Karen Page too. It was a really rough day.
Every week I'm gonna start correspondence to Rob. I'm just gonna start writing
blah
letters.
blah blah blah. You have problems, blah 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 blah. I just didn't I was probably in a bad mood and just didn't want to hear about it. But
who leaves a note anyway? You can't tell them face to face, like, hey, I'm sorry, I gotta dip out. Like, come on, man.
Well,
that's like sending a text to break.
It was the 90s, so yeah.
There is a way, by the way, when you're in that Marvel app, if you go into the settings, the way I read through is there's a way, and I can't remember what it's called, but you could turn it on. It's called like a guided view or something. So basically, it goes panel to panel, but when you're at the end of a page and you go to the next page, it displays the whole page before it goes panel to panel.
Yeah, sometimes
I like to do that, so I can kind of look at
it big. Yeah, because sometimes you get the full. Like, there's a couple pages where you're like, oh, I want to see this whole page.
But that's what I mean. This will automatically, literally every page.
Oh, that's cool. I need to do that.
Every page you go to before it goes, it'll show you the whole page, and then you tap again, then it'll zoom in on the first panel.
Oh, that's cool.
So I like to do that because you have a lot of the way they compose the pages matters a lot of times, like with Steve was saying, the way they revealed Mysterio. So when you have a splash page, it's hard to get the full effect of a splash page when it's if it's only showing you little chunks at a time.
I get it though. I know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've seen a comic page before, so.
But yeah, I like to do that guys. So I could see the whole page at once and then zoom in without having to zoom in and out.
That's great because sometimes I'll want to see the full page and I'll end up like clicking it and then I go backwards and forwards because it didn't know which way I wanted to go, and I'm like, no, just go big, baby, go big.
If you click the right side, it goes right, and the left side goes left.
I know.
Right. Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll misread a tap as a swipe.
Not like Captain America. I know.
Hey, there was one thing that I thought was funny. The baby had dialogue It just said goo. There was one panel where it had a little bubble box or whatever, a word box. It said goo.
So, the first time I read this, I was with Steve. I was like blown away by this. I became a Daredevil fan. I thought it was fantastic. And so now reading it, 20 some years later, knowing Mysterio was the villain and stuff, and kind of seeing it differently, I think that impacted my experience a little bit. But yeah, the first time, if I'd read this for the first time, I'd have given it at least a 3, though, I think.
Hey, do you know much of Mysterio? Have you read other Mysterio stuff? Like his encounters with Spider-Man?
I've seen some of those, yeah.
Because this comic felt a lot like how it was in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Well, again, this was Marvel Knights. A lot of the stories prior to this were a lot more, I don't know, cartoonish, I guess. Like the illusions. He was always pulling off illusions. They weren't nearly as elaborate.
But when Kevin Smith was talking about going, he was talking about going from 2D to 3D effects and taking it to the people, instead of on the silver screen. He's like, I'm going to do my illusions out in public, kind of like, Far From Home. So I just thought,
no, that's what he did before in the older comics. I just meant the intricacies of this were just a lot more elaborate and thought out, whereas the other ones were always like some big scheme so he could rob a bank, or you know what I mean? Like it'd be something else, make people see stuff and freak out so he'd get some money at the end or something like that,
Okay. Guy's a real asshole.
Quentin Beck. Well, yeah, it was this whole thing though, is he worked in the movie industry, in the comics anyway, different from the films. And he was a special effects guy and all that stuff. So he started utilizing it to commit crimes, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd seen him in like older 80s and 90s comics.
That's kind of cool. So throughout the years, as the technology, gets better and better and better, they start introducing that technology in the comics. And so Mysterio evolves in that way. It's kind of cool.
Right.
He's a pretty sweet character. I like him as a villain.
This really kind of brought him up.
Dear Mysterio.
Rob.
Blah, blah, blah. I'll be right back. I got to get some coffee.
Rob can't wait to get away from this podcast. Dude, if we set Rob's area up outside where he can smoke a cigarette, like he'd do the podcast for like 8 hours. Like he'd never leave.
You are dead right, sir.
Okay, dude, he'd be happy all the time. He'd be happy.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come down to Memphis. I'm gonna come down for like a week, and we're gonna clean out the garage. We're gonna set up a podcasting space in the garage for him.
Yeah,
where he could smoke.
Oh, dude, he'll be like, hey guys, I know we just did a podcast an hour ago. You guys want to do another podcast?
Yes, we need to make this happen.
We'd be like, dude, not again, Rob. I just did a podcast.
What I missed?
Hey, Rob's. All right, so I'm coming down to Memphis. Steve and I are going to come over. We're going to clean out your garage. We're going to set up a podcasting area. Yeah. So that way you can smoke and do the podcast, and then you'll enjoy it more.
I didn't smoke. I got some bloody coffee, dude.
we know. But we know what you want to do is go smoke.
No, what I want to do is not read another goddamn comic with 16 letters from Karen Page.
Dude, if Rob was out in the garage, he'd like read us a comic while we were podcasting.
Right.
He'd be like, I'm so happy.
Set him up a little area to read out there too, so you can read and smoke.
No.
Dude, you'd love it. You'd read you come back and be like, I read 300 issues of Daredevil.
This world, I just don't care about other people's problems as much as I used to. I'm really cynical, man.
But you
I
like
sure
movies.
Still don't care.
I love movies though, and TV shows.
I can just sit there and not hurt my eyes.
Why? Do you wear glasses? Do you need to wear glasses? Is that the issue?
I can't read the comic anymore without. I can't read on the app without glasses.
Okay.
I have to
hurt
have
your eyes though.
Yeah.
It's not good that it hurts your eyes. That seems wrong.
It doesn't hurt my eyes, but I can't
We need to
see.
start an old man segment for Rob.
Yeah.
Rob's
Lord.
Corner.
I just didn't like this comic as much as you guys did. I'm sorry.
Woodworking with Rob.
I hate woodworking too.
He's like one week he makes a gaffy stick.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I didn't think that. So you didn't like this comic as much because Catholic guilt coming through. That's what your take.
Blah
Me or
blah.
Rob?
You. We know he doesn't like it. There's too many.
Yeah, it's for me because I don't know. I think back then I was a lot more open minded to that stuff, and nowadays I'm just like, oh, shut the fuck up, you self-absorbed little bitch.
That's kind of where I was.
Not Karen Page though. Not Karen Page. I was talking about to Kevin Smith though. Like,
well, either one. I don't care. Both of them.
But to me, it was Matt Murdock was more annoying than Karen Page in this. I don't know. I think again because Kevin Smith wrote him clearly as a proxy for himself. I just kept seeing him as Blunt Man or whatever. So I couldn't help it this time.
How many movies had he had out at the time of this comic?
1999.
Dogma.
I think Dogma might have been out, so he probably had about 4. But I think, but it was before Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So yeah, I think Dogma. So I was fully on board with Kevin Smith at the time too. Yeah, and again, I still love the first 2 movies the most. The first 4 movies in general, and then stuff after that has been real up and down.
And if it was around Dogma, he's just riding that Catholic wave then.
Yes, and that's when and like I said, I think he's gotten away from all that. But yeah, he was definitely all up in his Catholic feelings, and this time, for whatever reason, it just rubbed me the wrong way. But the artwork was amazing. And again, I should probably give it a higher rating just because it is a good reveal. It's a good twist you don't see coming, or I didn't see coming anyway. Mm-hmm. So I did appreciate it from that angle.
Did you enjoy the scene where Spidey kind of, Matt was questioning everything he does and like, what's the point? And Spidey's like, hey, man, like, you saved that kid,
Right.
This was after Karen had died.
So I like that a lot. There's a lot to like in here. But yeah, I did like that Spidey kind of giving him the pep talk, getting him focused on, not wallowing basically, and, back to focusing on what he is doing, which Spider-Man is one of the best characters to give that pep talk, considering his history.
Yeah, he's like, I know exactly what you're going through, man.
Right.
Like, I know tragedy. They were on the rooftop, and there was like the Green Goblin was just up in the air. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he was like, there was like a picture of the moon in the background, and then in front of the moon was the Green Goblin on his glider. I'm like, all right, you should probably stop talking and go get that guy.
Go deal with that.
That's what I was thinking during this panel.
I'm just I'm just thinking like, what comics can I give Rob that are just full of words? And I was thinking like Brian Michael Bendis has some comics out there that are just like blah, word vomit.
He just won't read it. He'll be like Batman. He'll just not.
I think one of the worst ones was like, especially like when you got towards like the middle of the Cerebus, which was this aardvark inspired by Conan the Barbarian. Don't ask me about it. Just look it up. But Cerebus
I don't
had
care.
Cerebus had like some fucking, like, it was like reading the Bible at some points. I'm shit you not. But then I was thinking too, your girl Amelia Clark, I saw wrote a comic book, and all I saw was the first page. I got to see if I could find it now. I was like,
who is that's Amelia way too Clark?
Many.
The mother of dragons. What's the matter with you?
Who's the fuck is that? What dragon? You talking about Game of Thrones? I haven't seen that yet.
Please watch Game of Thrones.
I cannot help you.
Yeah.
I cannot help you.
I don't know why you won't watch that. What is your deal?
So many of them. I'm like, I don't want to.
But they're all good. I mean, most
I've been telling you to watch it since there was only like 2.
Yeah.
I didn't have HBO at the time.
Shawn and I both were like, dude, did you watch Game of Thrones? I was like, yeah. Holy shit.
All right, maybe I'll watch.
Here we go. I'm going to show you the first page of her comment. You won't be able to read it, but you'll get an idea.
Oh,
that's an excerpt anyway.
Does it start Dear Matt?
Let's see if you can. You see all those word bubbles? Those are full of little time. There we go.
Right on.
Read all that, Bobby.
I can't even. Wow.
Go to the next panel. Go to the flip the page. Let me see what's next. Does it look like that again? Oh my God.
They let her write a comic book, and I don't know that she's into comic books. Dude,
the show's Rob Hates a Comic. It don't matter what you pick. He's not going to like it. He don't like reading.
do. All right, so I'm going to pick a show, or I'm going to pick maybe a movie or a show and a comic for next week.
Oh, fuck. I forgot we were doing that.
Wait a minute. What are we doing? What's going on?
More
Do you
work
not
for
remember
you.
this discussion?
More homework for Rob.
We discussed this. So every other week we're going to do comic books, and then every other week we're going to do a visual medium just for you because you like to watch things.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I've been trying to figure out which movie we should watch.
But here's the thing. I'm still reading the same amount of comics. You're just throwing me in an extra week.
Yeah.
We're trying to get you engaged for at least every other show. I'm not trying to lessen your comic book load so much as I am.
This show?
Hey, Rob, today's Thursday. When did you start reading Daredevil?
Tuesday.
Oh, that's not your typical Wednesday
It is bad
night.
when you consider it was assigned a month ago. That is bad.
It was holiday. I was on vacation.
Exactly. That's the time to read. I read so many comics over Christmas break.
No, it was time to relax and enjoy myself.
But that's the point of doing a show or a movie is to give you something you enjoy.
Wait a minute, Rob, are you not enjoying yourself right now?
Oh yeah.
Look at him.
This is a blast.
He's trying to pull his own eyeball out. Like Steve is the opposite of an empath. Whatever that is, Steve has no idea when people are enjoying themselves or not. He's like, if I'm having a good time, everybody must be. And I've been telling him for weeks. I'm like, Rob really hates doing this show. We got to do something. And Steve's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, I do. I noticed. Like I fucking noticed.
I told you, set it up in the garage. He can smoke, dude. He'll be on all the time. He'll be like, dude, where's the podcast? Let's get this shit rolling. I'm telling you, that's the fix.
I enjoy talking to you guys. It's just it seems like
you don't like the homework.
Yeah.
You don't. He doesn't like the homework.
I'm done with school. I'm just like, F this.
And it makes me so sad that you see comic books as like something to dread.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know how to change that.
Like 1 out of 20 is sometimes it surprises me. It's actually good.
I feel like if you went back,
I feel like I need to read the Punisher.
You would like more than that.
It seems like that's the only comic I've really liked.
We'll just start a Punisher podcast.
But the point being, though, no matter what I assign, whether it's good or bad, you don't look forward to reading it either way. That's my whole point.
When Shawn picks a comic, I start reading it as soon as I go downstairs.
I know.
Like that's my new favorite thing. I'll lay in bed with Krista, and she'll be surfing the web, and I'll be reading a comic.
Yeah.
It's two different extremes, and I'm just like, I don't know what I could come up with that would pull you in.
Assign a comic, and if I like it, great, and if I don't, I don't. Steve loves
I know,
it.
but I want you to to look forward to it.
This is Steve's show.
No, it just has my name in the title. It's just a funny title.
I have nothing to do with this show.
You're on it every week. What are you talking about?
Oh crap, I am.
You really don't like reading the comics, do you?
He really hates it. That's what I've been trying to tell Steve, and I'm like,
I don't mind.
Like, no, it's not being a people pleaser. I know you don't like it. Just say it. It's fine.
No, some of them are right. When we do like 8 wordy comics like this one, it's like
he's like, you give me a month to read 8 comics.
I think
that's right. I did have more time.
When we started this show, I think Rob envisioned what I thought comics were. They're all the old easy reads, like the old comics.
No, I just did it. I do this because you guys, I enjoy talking to you. And you asked me to do it.
Yes. And I know that. And
there's no other reason.
I'm going to be selfish enough to still continue to ask you to do it no matter what, how you feel about it.
That's fine.
Asshole.
I'll still do
it. Grievances aired.
I want you to enjoy the medium. And it's funny because I know, honestly, there's nothing I can do about it. Some people just don't like the medium. What are you going to do?
Well, say, here's the thing. You got Steve liking comics. That was your life's work. That was your life's work. Just end it there. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Let's do it. Let's think about it this way, though. Yeah. It took me, almost 40 years to get him to do it. So maybe I just need to work on you as long.
Well, I got another 7 years on him. Yeah, maybe in 7 years I'll like the comics.
That's what I mean. Like, I never really pestered you about reading comics until recently.
True.
So
that is true.
So maybe it takes 40 years to get a Rocco to read comics and enjoy them. Yeah, maybe. And I do try to pick enjoyable comics. Like, I don't try to just be like, oh, this is crap. Let's read this.
No, I mean, this one was
7 years. All I can think of is indentured servitude. That's Rob.
Rob's like, I don't even get paid for this shit.
Am my 7 years up yet?
I even went out and bought a new computer for this crap.
The curmudgeon.
He did buy a computer. That was impressive.
That's how much I love you guys.
We appreciate it.
I bought my Mac in 1990, about the same time this Daredevil comic came out, and I finally got a new computer. Oh boy,
we're gonna take full advantage of the fact that you're a nice guy and you'll keep doing the show.
I thought you would enjoy this more, Rob. This comic.
I think the world going on. I just don't care about other people's problems anymore because
you like shows. You watch shows and movies.
Yeah,
so that's not true. That's not a true statement. You like watching fiction.
I don't like reading about other people's problems. How's that? How's that? Is that better?
This is my that makes more sense. But my suggestion for you is to just read one issue a day. I think part of the reason too is because you do the cramming thing, and then it is overwhelming. But I think if you broke it down, and that's why we broke it. That's why we ended up doing 2 weeks. My process there, or my thought process was, if we have more days between the shows, then you'll have more days to read. But I think ultimately that doesn't matter, because you just wait till the last minute to read the comic. Yeah. But my thinking was like, just read it.
Oh shit, my homework's due tomorrow.
Right, but if you read, dude, after we do this show, read one issue and then go. Just one issue. That's it, and then it won't seem like such a burden.
Well, how many issues I gotta read next week?
However many are in the series.
Well, it better not be more than 8, or I'm out.
let's create our own formula for Rob.
Just do whatever the hell you want to do.
Issues divided by days left. And
I'll tag along.
All right, so the comic we're going to read, it's 5 issues. It's only 5.
Okay, and I got 2 weeks.
You have 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Just
here we go.
Read an issue every other day.
All right.
Just break it down. Issue every other day. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
It'll go so much faster, I promise, and you won't seem like such a burden.
The speed's not even burden. It was the story. It wasn't.
Well, I think it's more just the amount you have to read, and then when you see a lot of words,
I read it over 3 days. I finished it
was
morning.
The amount too, because one of his major complaints was too many letters. So
right,
I just don't care about her. I liked her in the show.
That's because
I thought she was a good character.
Right, because you like TV.
That too.
I think Rob might lack some imagination. Like, he doesn't imbue these characters with personality.
No.
So he's just like, this dumb bitch, shut the fuck up. It's like, it's Karen Page. It's fucking Karen Page.
I have AIDS.
So the comic we're gonna read is it's only 5 issues. It's called Hawkeye versus Deadpool. So it's like one of my all-time favorite characters, and then Hawkeye, who is
your favorite TV
character.
Show. Yeah.
So
is this by Matt Fraction?
No, it is not. I believe it is post Matt Fraction, though. So this Hawkeye is written as the Hawkeye you know from that series. And it's by Jerry Duggan. Jerry Duggan is a really good writer. He worked on stuff like Veep, for instance. Rob, you like the show Veep?
I do. It's funny.
He got a shout out on an episode.
Is that the one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yes.
Okay.
We know you haven't watched it.
Nope.
Have you watched 30 Rock yet? Aiden was like, let's watch the fun.
Yeah, I watch it with Shawn every time I see him.
He's seen 2 episodes.
No, I watched.
And then I ended up watching like six episodes last night.
Oh, it's so great.
Dude,
it's
there was
so good.
stuff I didn't even catch.
Look how excited Rob is right now. Look how excited he is.
Right?
Yeah. TV. We'll do a TV show too.
I should make you watch the first season of 30 Rock. That should be the assignment. That way Steve has to watch it too.
Yeah, hey, I like homework, unlike Rob.
But no, it's got to be something short because we're going to cover next week. We're going to cover the movie, and then the week after that we'll do the comic. But like after I give you a movie this week, I'll pick something next week, or we'll all pick something. And because I'm the comic book expert. I'm not the video expert amongst the three of us. We all enjoy that medium.
Yeah,
so I think
Steve,
we can all
how many movies you got behind you there, guy?
Right. So
I got a lot. Got a few.
Basically, it's going to be a voting process. You guys each have 33%. I have 34%. So,
all
right. Yeah. So next week we're just going to do a movie, and we're going to pick one of the best movies of all time, just because it's coming out in 4K in March. It's called RoboCop. I don't think Rob has watched RoboCop in a long time, so it's on my Vudu. If you want to watch it,
I think I have the Criterion collection.
Nice. But yeah, if you want to watch
the original, right?
version,
Not the remake.
The original 1987 RoboCop.
The Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movies that made us?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the RoboCop one?
Of course.
That was
like
pretty
the day
good.
It came out.
That was pretty good.
They're making something called RoboDoc. It's supposed to be coming out. It's like a almost 4-hour documentary about the making of RoboCop that I'm waiting for.
I didn't know. It's amazing how some of these movies, like a lot of the movies that are just brilliant, like almost like never happened, or you know, almost got shut down, or were, you know, all the shit that goes wrong, and it ends up being a great movie. It's incredible.
Right. It is.
Like if you're a studio head, at some point you got to be like, oh, everything's going wrong. I got a blockbuster on my hand, you know.
You're like, this is a telltale sign.
Yeah,
this is going to be a
unbelievable.
Hit.
Yeah, so many things. Just luck just plays a big part in a lot of that stuff.
All right, and just to reiterate, next week, RoboCop the movie. The week after, Hawkeye versus Deadpool. It's in Marvel Unlimited.
What year is that? Is there only one?
I think so. It's only 5 issues, and it goes issue 0 to 4. So, look for that.
Do they do like a lot of these versus comics?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so every once in a while they'll just pair up some random people.
Yes. They used to have something called Marvel Team Up too, where they every month or whatever they would just do a team up between people. So that was literally the name of the comic, Marvel Team Up.
So do you like Deadpool or something?
Who's that? About the Clint Eastwood movie? I never saw it. But eventually we're going to watch The Incredibles too, because The Incredibles is fucking fantastic. Like we might do a double.
Wait a minute! I thought Rob and I were picking movies. I thought you picked. I
said you could contribute.
No. If you want to get him excited, at least let him pick a movie.
Well, it's gonna be awesome movies. Like, when's the last time you watched RoboCop, Rob?
Shit, I don't know. 15 years.
Yeah, it's probably, maybe you saw it when I lived in Memphis with you was the last time. Who knows?
That'd be 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So I want to pick stuff that's like, so I'm trying to pick stuff.
It was on TNT the other day. I don't know.
There you go. Don't watch that version, for the love of God. I want to pick stuff that's like genre based though. Can be considered, comic book or comic book related or inspired and stuff like that. RoboCop is a comic book movie without a comic book, basically. Say with The Incredibles, stuff like that, like stuff. And I'll pick actual comic book movies, but I want to try to keep it on theme. With the show, keeping it dorky, basically. Keeping it nerdy.
So, can I pick the cutting edge? or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's an ice skating movie. That's funny though, because I was
That's
watching.
a good movie. I
like that movie.
I do too.
I was watching I, Tonya today. I have to finish it up, but it's have you guys seen that?
Yeah,
Nope.
it was okay. It was good.
I'm enjoying it. I like character study type stuff. So, and it's a little bit, it breaks the fourth wall sometimes. It's got a little bit of panache to it. You know, it's not done like a straight up like made for TV movie or something. So I like that, the style of it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm really enjoying it.
that shit fucking happened.
So
she just beat her in the fucking leg with a pole.
Well, no, she didn't do it, but
somebody did.
She
That's right.
Somebody in her
boyfriend or something.
Yeah, but somebody who was friends with her boyfriend.
So Shawn, you sent us a critics thing of Don't Look Up and Aquaman, where the critics actually liked Aquaman better than Don't Look Up. What did they not like about Don't Look Up? Well, did you read any of them?
After I did not. I just So there's a theory right now that critics aren't behind Don't Look Up because they don't like how journalists are portrayed in the movie. So they think that might be. And I don't know if that's true. That's just a theory that the journalists are like, fuck you. You're going to make us look like a bunch of fucking...
They took it personal.
But the other part of me, somebody said something, and it might be one of you guys, or it was Logan. Well, I know this. One critic panned the movie and said it was too heavy-handed, and I lost my shit because you guys know what happened. I talked about this on the last episode when I got into it with somebody who didn't understand like who the proxy for themselves would be in the movie. They were like, oh yeah, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, no, fuckhead, you're the president. You know, like you're the idiot who doesn't fucking know it. Or you know what I mean? You're backing the wrong horse here. So that was funny to me that people were like, oh, it's too heavy handed. It's like, it clearly wasn't heavy handed enough because people literally are like, no, I'm on the people, these fucking libtards over here are the ones who are looking down and fucking not looking at what the vaccine's doing.
What was the ratings? What was the score? What was the critic score for Aquaman versus this one? Was it way?
Like 10 to 15 more.
Yeah, it was about,
which is significant. If you, I don't know how you like
that. Basically, the way Rotten Tomatoes does it, since they do fresh or rotten, even though they're close, they're only like 10% off. Aquaman is fresh. Don't Look Up is rotten. And if you just look at that binary gauge without reading anything, and to me that I was just like, that makes sense coming from the people who gave Avatar the Best Picture Oscars. Like, you know what I mean? Avatar won Best Picture. Let's all remember that when we were thinking about critics. All right. Avatar won Best Picture.
Are you ready for 5 more Avatars in a row, baby?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't
really?
know how many. It's like at least 4. 3 or 4 he's doing.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's like 3 or 4 sequels.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I hope the sequel's better. I mean, good, because you're stewed if it's not.
And that James Cameron's another one of those guys that I have mad respect for just because of what he did for like going back to Terminator and Aliens.
Yeah.
Even True Lies. I fucking love True Lies and stuff
like
Terminator 2. All
Titanic,
this kind of
motherfucker.
No. But the second half of Titanic was kind of cool with the effects and everything. It looked really cool. I remember watching the boat capsize. That was fun. So, but he's always had some sort of weird love angle in his stuff. Like even the first Terminator has like the cheesiest fucking romance storyline. That's just like, oh God, there's like a sex scene with the 80s saxophone and everything. It's like, oh, fuck off. Because everybody's like, Terminator's a perfect movie. I'm like, no, it's not. RoboCop's a perfect movie. Terminator has some issues. It could be without that scene, basically. If it didn't have the cheesy love story, Terminator would be a perfect movie. RoboCop, however, has no time for sentimentality, thus making it perfect. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, the critics are fucking idiots. And I'm not saying like Don't Look Up isn't like a 10 out of 10 or anything. I'd give it like a 7, maybe an 8. Something, 7.5.
I'd give it around a 7.
I like the character work a lot. It could have been shorter. I think if it was shorter and tighter, I'd give it a higher rating. But again,
I'm not saying it's Oscar worthy.
Right. No, it's not some, but it's way more enjoyable than fucking Aquaman.
Yeah. I mean, the acting alone. Did
Right.
did any of the critics see any of the acting in Aquaman?
Right. Or even just the character depth of the people. Like,
there was no depth.
no, I'm talking about in Don't Look Up. Like the way they wrote those characters were all believable.
Yeah.
Like the way Jennifer Lawrence is obsessing over that fucking dude. Like I've that's been me about stupid shit. Like, why did he charge? He knew we were gonna find out. Like that little joke hitting throughout the movie is fucking brilliant, man. That's brilliant to me. Dude, so I've been getting through the Harry Potter movies. We'll discuss this, and I'll let Rob get to bed.
See, I thought you'd fire out a Harry Potter movie, man.
How many have you made it through?
I think I'm on Goblet of Fire. Which one is that? Is that
4.
number 5?
4.
They're starting to get a little more adult.
So
because the kids are getting adult.
Yeah.
The first 2 are definitely the hardest to make it through as somebody over the age of 7.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're brutally, and I watched the first 2 a lot because Maggie used to play them. We had the old 5-disc DVD changer, and like the kids were babies, and she was home with the kids. She'd load it up. It'd have like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Pirates of the Caribbean. Like those were her jam. Like she would put those movies on. So they were always like just kind of playing in the background. But yeah, it was like at the end of the first Harry Potter, he kills a teacher by touching his face, and it's hilarious because there are no repercussions for this action. And then Logan, and I really am trying to be open. I'm not going into this thinking, oh, fuck this, I'm gonna shit on this. I'm truly trying to understand the widespread appeal of Harry Potter to adults. I get the kid angle, and I told Maggie thought I was ragging on her. She's like, we're gonna record a podcast right now because I'm tired of you ripping on me in private. She wanted me to like rip on her, and I was like, I'm not ripping on you, but I said to her, I was like, I was just making an observation. I'm like, I was like, if I was like 3 or 4 years old, I could get into this. And she took offense to that. But like, it's just
is Professor Quirrell dead at the end of the first one?
I don't think he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
He burned his fucking head off. He's fucking dead.
He comes back as a ghost at the end.
So that means he's dead. That's what death is. Okay. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to defend Maggie here because she's not here. I'm going to defend your wife because I don't know.
I wasn't attacking my wife.
No, I'm just saying for Harry Potter, it was the books, the first 2 books, but as they went along, like
you read books?
Yeah, I
picked up fictional stories and read them.
My daughter at the time, I had a child. Yeah, I had a child that was reading them, and I read them, and it was fun. Like we kind of read the books, and we went when like the next book would come out. We'd go like that night, like to go see a movie on opening night. It was kind of neat. It was really fun. So you look forward to that movie
for one,
and then like Molly would read the book in like 3 days, and it would take me like 6 weeks to read it, because I am a slow reader and she's very fast. And so is Laura. How Maggie was. Laura's like they can read a book in like freaking. It's amazing. I don't know how
women comprehend it,
huh?
But yeah, comprehend it.
Yes. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. It's incredible. So anyway,
Maggie's a speed reader too.
It wasn't just about the movies and the books. It was cool how the books, like the book hadn't even come out, and then you get to the next book, and then they're still making the 3rd movie, and then you get to read. So it was like a whole 10-year journey as your kid's growing up, and it was kind of neat.
Okay, well, you were caught up in it from a different angle, though. Yeah. You were caught up in it because your kid was caught up in it.
Yeah.
As an adult man. Like as an adult period.
Well, I get it.
I have a hard time coming into this and looking at it I equated it the other day so I really like the original He-Man cartoon, right? Came out in like 83, 84, but I was like 6 years old, right? I was that demographic. If I showed an adult an episode of He-Man and they'd never seen it before, and they liked it, I would think something was wrong with them. Like this, unless they liked it because it was corny or bad. But it's geared towards a very young audience, and it just kind of it baffles me why adults latched onto this because it's very juvenile. And Now, don't get me wrong. I am juvenile. Like, you see all my stuff. So I don't want to like put it out there like I'm some super mature. But I just feel like the level wasn't. It's not juvenile like it's made for 10-year-olds. It's like juvenile like it's made for like 5-year-olds because there's no logic to any of the story or anything that's happening. So this is what I watched the other day. I think this was the third movie. This is when it started getting good, or better, I should say. So they have this like horse bird thing called a hippogriff. And they're gonna kill it, and Harry and Hermione and Ron, they have an opportunity to stop this thing from getting killed. And I watched the whole movie, and they do eventually they travel through time to save it. However, the first time, they literally watch with emotionless faces as this fucking 14th century executioner lops the head off this majestic creature, and they just all three kind of standing there in the distance, like, huh. And I'm like, what? Nobody said or did or reacted or nothing? Well, like you got your heroic character right there. He did fuck all, had no reaction to it. I was just like, this is horrible writing. It's just bad writing.
It's like
they weren't supposed to be down there. If they would have made a noise, they would have got caught, and then they would have been reprimanded.
They literally saved it. They saved it by going back to that exact same point in time and doing something. Whereas the first time, they were like, fucking Thomas Wayne, where he was like, failure to act, where he's like yelling at him in Batman Begins, your father's failure to act. That was them. Nothing changed. They could have saved it the first time. They didn't give a fuck. Your hero character, Harry Potter, is just like, huh. All right, what do you guys want to do?
You hungry? It's a fucking cow. Who gives a shit?
Dude, this was not a cow. This was a majestic. It was almost like a unicorn. It was like a flying horse.
It's the wizarding cow. Nobody gives a shit about livestock.
Dude, I was blown away by the fact that they acted so just terribly. And then like Ron Weasley's like the worst character in the whole fucking thing because he's annoying as shit. Harry is bland as fuck. That dude is a plank of fucking wood, man. He doesn't move the story forward at all until like the very end of each movie, maybe. And he just doesn't do anything for a protagonist. He's not very proactive, and it's annoying. It's just bad. It's just he's a guy that things happen to sometimes.
Wait till they reveal he has AIDS.
But so Logan asked me the other day, like, what's the deal? So Logan's never read or watched any of them, and he's like, so what's the deal with Voldemort and Harry Potter? And I'm like, well, at this point, from what I could tell, Voldemort hates Harry Potter because he hated his parents. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't understand it. They haven't explained any of it. And it's like, why doesn't he just take a gun and shoot him? I don't know. I don't know what. I don't understand. This is terrible.
He tried to kill him. So he tried to kill him. He couldn't. That was the point.
Yeah, with magic. He didn't try a gun. Like I don't think his mother's love's gonna stop a bullet. So maybe go that route. Because that's the other thing. He's like, why can't he kill him?
Magic.
I don't think he understands magic.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does because it's not real. So you have to just take J.K. Rowling's version of magic. And like Logan's asked, he's like, why didn't he die? It's like his mother loved him a lot, so he's not dead.
Yeah, her love produced a barrier around him.
Well, it's a little more complicated than that, though.
That's all they've told me, though.
Well, you gotta wait to the final part 2.
I don't know if they explain that. I don't think they explain that, right?
Yeah, they do. They explain it.
What do they say? How do they explain it?
Well,
I don't care about spoilers.
We'll get into Horcruxes, Steve.
Horcruxes. What's a Horcrux?
Well, you'll find out.
Your mom's a Horcrux.
Just keep watching, man.
No, just tell me. Like I heard that word.
Okay, so
I don't remember.
The third book I thought was really good, and they left a lot out of the third book that I thought that I really liked in the book that they didn't really put in the third book or the third movie. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the third movie wasn't that bad, but there was a lot of stuff in the Marauders map. Was that in the third one or the?
Yeah, that was. Yeah. I think that was the one I just watched.
That was when they revealed that. It was really cool, and they did a lot more with it too.
Well, this is always my thing with magic is like if people are inventing this shit, why don't you just like make a spell that's like, oh, I'm 600 feet tall, I have a giant penis, and I'm all powerful. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. That's what I hate about magic. It's like, what are the constraints? What are the constraints to magic? There's literally a spell where you could just kill things. Why is everybody doing that? And then they do a fucking wizard battle. And it's literally everybody walks in a room, points a wand, and says, Expelliarmus. And that's the whole, like, they're all just knocking wands out of each other's hands. And I'm just like, this is so stupid. And then earlier in the movie, Harry, without a wand, just inflates his aunt with fucking helium, and she floats off just by, I don't even know what he did. It's like, well, that's horrifying. And like, he never does it again, though.
She went to the juicing room.
Right. But like, he just does that. And you're like, he doesn't have a wand. He doesn't, like, how did that even happen?
The power of the one extends beyond Hogwarts.
Well, it should. But
what do you think of the Harry Potter movies, Steve? We know Shawn hates magic and Shawn hates Harry Potter. So.
I don't like illogical choices. Like, I could handle the first Doctor Strange because they kind of, I don't know, they put some constraints on what you could do with the magic. It ultimately comes down to what the writer decides. But I liked like the kung fu and stuff. But these people are just pointing sticks at each other and disarming each other. And that's so stupid. It's like, just buy a gun. Like, fucking get a gun. Guns are available to wizards. There's no laws saying wizards can't have guns. What are you doing? It's not that hard. It's just fucking think.
They can't use a muggle weapon.
They can't? Is that a thing?
No, I just made that up.
I don't know. I don't know the rules. What are the rules? I don't know.
I actually like the younger ones better. The first couple.
The first two are fucking atrocious. I couldn't even remember like what it didn't even make sense. Like the way Voldemort goes, like Voldemort's the worst villain. Like he's possibly worse than fucking Adam Driver in Star Wars.
I like to
he's not corporeal yet. He's like got to live off other people.
He got to drink unicorn blood.
He's trying to kill a kid, but why? Why is he trying to kill him?
Because
you got about 8 more to go, buddy.
Because the prophecy foretells that Harry will kill Voldemort.
Okay, all right, that's all right.
Well,
maybe they've. Okay, I'll take that.
But there's a reason. There's a bit.
Did I just make that up? Well, is that what happened? I don't know.
There is a prophecy. I don't know if that was it, but
I'm just making shit up. I have no idea.
There is a prophecy in movie 6, I think, that you get.
I enjoyed the scene where he picked his wand and they had that creepy guy. He's a great actor. When he's like, the wand chooses you or whatever.
Oh, John Hurt. That was John Hurt.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing too. Is like,
get his name right.
90% of these movies, 90% of these fucking movies,
he's dead,
are just whimsical scenes. That's all that. It's literally. I'm just like, it doesn't move the story forward. It doesn't move the characters forward. I'm just supposed to. Oh, look, the paintings talk. Oh, look, they're playing a sport that has no impact on anything.
Oh, Jesus.
Where they have no boundaries, apparently, in this sport. You just, I flew to fucking Antarctica. It was a bad idea.
Hey, the Quidditch thing. He's right on the Quidditch thing. It's like, why doesn't everybody just go after the little fucking one in the fucking game?
Why would you go after the quaffle? Everybody just go, like, whole team, snitch. They could score on us 100 times.
Because only the seeker can grab the snitch. Only that one person for each.
Is that a rule?
Yeah,
like a hard
I think
rule?
it is a rule.
And then the other people have to score because whoever grabs it, whoever has the highest score. Wait, what?
Oh, dude, I'm not even going to pretend to know.
No, whoever grabs it wins. It's just like
it's wins. Yeah, I thought they got like 100 more points or something.
Well, they get 150 points and they win. Is what the way I understood it.
It's like Mario Kart at the end.
Unless someone's really good with the fucking quaffle and they score 160 points.
Yeah. Right. But again, the sport's not fleshed out. And then at the beginning of this most recent movie, Goblet of Fire, they go to a professional Quidditch match, and they're like, and the Weasleys are complaining because their seats are so high, and then like the little evil kids, what's the blonde-haired kid is like making fun of them.
Malfoy.
Yeah, Malfoy. And I was just cracking up. I'm like, in this particular sport, I feel like the high seats would be the good ones. because that's where the fuck everyone is. If you're down low, you're doing this. Whereas if you're up high, you're just staring. So it's just the logic of it just is upsetting. Like they're literally at the top of the stadium. I'm like, dude, that's prime. That's prime because these motherfuckers are always up here.
What are you, 40? How old now?
45.
Yeah, you're watching Harry Potter for the first time. You're 45 years old. I don't think that you're the demographic. No, it's not.
I've seen the first 5 movies before.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I've seen and Maggie wouldn't like. I would go with Maggie to go see him because she wanted to see him, and I wasn't like super down on him. I never really enjoyed him, but I liked going to the theater with Maggie because it was something she liked. She wouldn't go to the 6th movie because that's where Dumbledore died, and it made her sad.
That was 20 years ago. You actually enjoyed going to the movies.
When did the first one come out? What year was it?
Like 2002, I think.
It's like 20 years.
I was like 23 when I saw it. So
like 20 years.
But this is why I just it's weird to me that adults would go and not notice all this stuff that I'm noticing, where you're just like, is something going to happen? Or we're just supposed to be impressed because books are flying or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's just, all I could do was think about Star Wars. So I was like, imagine if they spent like 20 minutes where it's just ships docking and launching in Star Wars. Cause that's the kind of shit that happens in Harry Potter. It's like no impact on anything. It's like, oh, look at this thing. It's to the beginning of this movie, they have like almost like a dance sequence where they introduce people, and there's choreographed dancing. I'm like, why? What is going on?
Everybody loves dancing. That's why.
I don't
like
because it's
dancing.
I will quote Jerry Seinfeld, and when he's trying to go out with this girl, and she's like, let's go dancing. He's like, do you go dancing? He's like, no, because it's so stupid. That's I 100% on in agreement with Jerry Seinfeld on that. That's how I feel about dancing. Unless you're moshing, when you get to actually hit people, that's fun.
So you think you can dance and Dance with the Stars? You don't ever watch that?
I've seen Dance with the Stars. I watched it with Maggie. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I like seeing hot chicks in skimpy outfits. That's about as far as it goes.
I think Maggie broadens your perspective there, buddy.
Oh, she does. Yeah, absolutely. Because I will acquiesce to whatever she wants to do, especially if it's a movie. But she didn't want to see anymore after 5 because she didn't want to watch Dumbledore die because it made her so sad when she read the book.
Dumbledore dies?
And
spoiler.
So I don't give a shit about 20-year-old fucking children's property. Like, anyway. She didn't want to go anymore, and I wasn't going to go by. I didn't care enough to go by myself. I wasn't like, oh, I got to see what happens. I was more kind of like, I was slightly relieved, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of want to finish this story, though. Maybe it gets good at some point. I'm 5 movies deep. Maybe something will actually happen.
Nothing will change for you. You can just stop right now. It's just older kids doing more wand work.
That's the other thing. Like, we're just watching kids at school. In class, and we're supposed to be like, oh, but it's magic class, so that's cool. It's like, no, it's not. It's not fucking cool. It's not. I want to see character development. I want to see action. I want to understand motivations. I want to have a villain that makes sense. The third one I liked, like in some ways, because I don't think Voldemort was involved in it. It was about Sirius Black and that other guy, the other Lupin, the werewolf guy. So that one wasn't too bad because it was more like that whole mystery of, oh, this guy's the Sirius Black guy was actually a good guy or whatever. And then Peter Pettigrew was the rat. So it had some reveals, but again, it just had illogical stuff. Like they have the Whomping Willow, which just starts beating the shit out of people for some reason. And then when they come out of the Whomping Willow, they all just lay underneath it. And the Whomping Willow's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm done attacking people. It's like, you just showed us. As soon as you get within reach, it just beats the shit out of you. But they all come down and lay down, and the tree's like, yeah, that's good.
They put a spell on it so the tree couldn't move. Hey, which one is the one with the maze in the beginning where the kid fucking bites it?
Goblet.
Oh, that's Goblet? Okay.
There was a maze? I don't remember a maze.
It's the very beginning, I thought, wasn't it?
No, it's like it's at the end.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Shawn.
It's just fucking.
I've seen it before. I just don't remember it. Like I said, I've seen the first 5 movies. I haven't the only 3, but I'm rewatching them because the only ones I remember are like the first 2 because those are the ones Maggie used to play all the time.
Oh my god!
You can't just spoil
20 minutes of you bitching about Harry Potter's that you're watching.
I'm just trying to understand the appeal to adults.
You can't. You're 45 seeing it.
Yeah.
You're watching it. You're done. You never liked it. You never will. You're not going to like it.
Don't try to understand.
Don't try it.
Some things you just can't wrap your head around, bro.
It's like, dude, people just throw logic out the window because there's a little boy with fucking glasses on screen. I don't understand. No, I appreciate your perspective, but I don't understand people who were adults when it came out, didn't have children as a gateway to it, that were just like, this is my jam. And it's like, what? It's just not good. It's like not good writing. There's never anything going on in the movie where I'm like, what's going to happen next? I'm always like, please let something happen at some point. Dude, the scenes at the beginning with the fucking Dursleys, like fucking kill me, dude. Like, god damn, those are so pointless and stupid. And that logic doesn't even make sense. I was looking over at Maggie. I'm like, so they hate this kid, but they want to keep him? What? Why wouldn't they be?
They have to hide him from Voldemort. They have to keep
him. They don't have to do shit. They're people. They do what they want. They hate him. Get the fuck out. They don't care. They don't like him. Like, he's protected by his mother's love anyway. He's fine. He'll be fine.
They're scared of. She's scared of her sister or her mother and the wizards. They're scared of him, so they do it out of fear.
But why do they mistreat the fuck out of him, and why don't they care?
Because they're shit people.
Okay, but why does a Dumbledore and all these people give a shit? And why can't they take him? Why won't they just take him?
I don't know. They want to keep him.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Away, hidden.
You know what? Don't make any sense. Insurrections.
That was a year ago. That's old news.
A year ago. It don't make any sense. Try and wrap your head around it.
So, are you going to finish? Are you going to finish these Harry Potters?
Yeah, he's going to.
I'm in the middle of Goblet of Fire,
and then he's gonna bitch for another 45 minutes about him.
I'm just trying to understand. I
know
why people would like jump on this franchise and just overlook so many weird things when there's like no story here. Again, your lead character is like a living cardboard box. He has no personality to project. Like,
kid's like 10 years
he's
old.
7.
That doesn't matter. I just watched that Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. The lead role is a little girl, and she has way more going on for her as far as like attitude and personality.
Isn't she a teenager?
She looks like she's about 12, maybe at most. She's very 12. Small. I don't know how old she is. She's playing a young kid. She's but she's very young. I'm up to now Harry Potter. I'm on the 4th movie. This kid's a teenager now, and he's just like, huh? Oh, where's Hermione? She knows how to do stuff. And like, oh man, it's so bad. And then, like I said, Ron Weasley's whole thing where he's just, oh, bloody hell, brilliant, Howie. And then he's just terrified the whole time. Like, that's his whole character, just being terrified. Hermione's like the only likable one of the 3. Like, she's the only one who like has her shit together.
The Weasleys got the short end of the stick. They don't have a good magic family.
The twins are the twins are good.
Oh my god, they're annoying as shit.
Wait, doesn't Harry marry one of them?
He marries he marries Ginny.
Young.
I know that. Maggie told me that.
That's right.
And I was like, the chick that's barely been in the movies? Like,
I remember she was in the very first one.
I really do think this is an instance where the author picked the wrong character to lead it. Like, Hermione should be the lead character. She's way more proactive than anybody else in the fucking movie.
But that's the whole point of the whole series is that it's all 3 of them together.
Yeah, but it's called Harry Potter, and Harry Potter is like a piece of wet cardboard.
Like, not in the Deathly Hallows.
Actually, wait till you get to the end and you find out that Dumbledore has been manipulating Harry the whole time. And then you'll be like, that's fucked up.
To do what?
To kill him, to sacrifice him.
Wait, he's been manipulating Harry to kill Dumbledore?
No.
To kill who?
To sacrifice Harry Potter. He's basically a lamb. He's the sacrificial lamb.
Oh, does he die? That would be cool.
He dies.
Harry Potter dies at the end? Oh, yep. I think you're just making shit up now. I don't believe you.
Steve.
Yeah. I was actually eating at a restaurant, and we were eating Mexican, and people behind us were talking about Harry Potter, and that's how I found out Dumbledore died. I was like, oh, I was like, you sons of bitches.
See, I do that because Maggie told me. That's why we couldn't go to the 6th movie. She was like, Dumbledore dies, and it's very sad. I'm like, that fucking wizard that has like 3 lines of movie, like they switched the actor from 2 to 3, and I didn't notice because the actor actually died. The only thing I noticed was I was like, man, his voice is a lot stronger now. Because in the 2nd movie, he's like,
dude, it's like, wasn't it Ian McKellen or something?
No, Richard Harris was the first one, and Michael Gambon or something like that.
Oh, Gambon.
Yeah, Michael Gambon. Yeah, and I was like, the only thing I noticed was his voice. I was like, wow, his voice has got a lot more power to it. Had no idea. They're like, oh no, it's a totally different dude. That guy died.
All right,
holy shit.
What about the soundtrack? How's that? You like that, right?
This is John Williams' worst work ever. I have to. John Williams is the greatest composer. He's the greatest modern composer.
If there was anything I thought I could get him to agree on, was that.
Yeah. I cannot remember the theme from Harry Potter. After all these viewings, I still don't know what the theme is. You guys aren't doing the same tune. That's how I know it's bad, because you're both singing different songs.
He started late. He started late. That's not my...
I was not on.
It's not a good theme. John Williams, master, just God-level composer, and he came in and half-assed
on John Williams. That's enough.
Yeah, we've had enough. We've had enough of you. You have derailed, sir. We will not allow this.
Can I talk at any point?
No, not if you.
No, you're done. You're done. Stop shitting on Harry Potter.
John Williams came in, read the source material, and was like, I'm going to give this to an assistant. Just put my name on it so I can cash the check. That's what happened there. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, it's not worth a good soundtrack.
I disagree.
Hey, Steve, I sent Steve video footage of Trinity and Matrix Resurrections. Did you watch the video I sent you?
Yes, I watched it.
I narrated it because Logan was watching it for the first time, so I was explaining what we were looking at.
Oh, I did. I don't think I watched it with sound. I just clicked it.
Oh, you got to hear Shawn talking. That was the funny part of it.
I don't want to. No, I'm not clicking that again.
It's so fun. It's so bad. It's so bad.
You sent it to me more than once. I'm like, you dick.
Yeah.
You sent it to all my social media accounts or something. I don't know what you did.
Have you watched it again? Have you watched Matrix?
No, I haven't watched it. I'm going to sit down and watch it here soon.
You should watch Game of Thrones before you watch it again.
All right. I'll watch Game of Thrones.
Or 30 Rock or...
No.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Dude, we are going to do Game of Thrones one week. We're going to watch a few episodes of that. Because I think if Steve sees the first episode of Game of Thrones,
I saw the first episode. That's about it.
And that didn't
I got about 2 in. No, I liked it. I was like, damn, that's fucked up. He's fucking his sister and they just killed that kid. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't hate it. I just stopped. Like you do.
All right, so we'll wrap it up now. Next week.
Are you sure? Did you get all your Harry Potter frustration out?
No, I know there's more stuff underneath the surface here that I can't remember. As I'm watching it, I'm just like, people are entertained by this? Like I said, to me, it's equivalent of watching He-Man as an adult and expecting people to be like, yeah, you like this? Like, no, it's not good. It's meant for children. It's meant for 5-year-olds. Why would an adult like this unless they grew up with it? So that's my whole take on it.
And that sums it up.
There you go.
I'll be back next week with more Harry Potter critiques. Very timely.
Yeah, you didn't see Jaws till later, and you didn't like Jaws that much, right?
There's a difference there. Jaws I respect because I understand where it came in cinema history and what it did at the time. The problem is I've seen so many movies influenced by Jaws that have copped what they did, including Steven Spielberg's own Jurassic Park. They did what Jaws did, but better because they were influenced by it. It just made Jaws not seem as... It just wasn't something I would want to rewatch because it was so slow and not gory enough. Whereas you go to like Jurassic Park or other movies of that ilk, and it's fast paced. The effects look better. It's just, it's all about... It's got that 1975 pacing. It is not a bad movie. I don't want to say that, but it's when you didn't grow up with it, and again, you've seen everything inspired by it, it's hard to I can't view it objectively. It's almost impossible to view it objectively
Hey,
for me because of that.
What is when you're shitting on Harry Potter? Like, does Maggie want to stab you, or how's that?
Well, yeah, I told you the one time I was talking to her, she was literally like, "Let's go record a podcast."
Yeah, but
so
she read the Twilight books too, and I think she is like, okay, that was a horrible movie, you know, so she doesn't mind it. Is she saying does she still love Harry Potter as much as she did?
No, but she still likes it because she still gets upset when I do ask. And I will literally she won't even be in the room. And like I said, Logan will come in and be like, so what? Why does Voldemort do this? And I tried to explain it as best I could. And from the other room, she's like, shut up. And I'm like, that's all they've said. I don't know. It's the writer's fault. They didn't tell me why. That's what I have to work with. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Did you read Did you read the book, Steve?
I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot.
You know, a movie's good when describing it sounds like insulting it.
Logan just said, you know, a movie's good when describing it just sounds like insulting it. So that's all I was doing. I was literally just conveying without any emotion. He's like, why is Voldemort after Harry Potter? I'm like, I don't really know. He didn't like their parents and he tried to kill him, but his mom's love shielded him. So now he doesn't like him because of that. I don't know. That's all I got. And it can't seem like it's literally just an old man beefing with a high schooler is the whole premise from what I understand of the series.
Without a nose. He doesn't have a nose.
He doesn't have a nose.
He hadn't seen him yet.
But so far, like, you shouldn't be 4 movies in and be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
You don't
like, that's
see
a pacing
Voldemort
issue.
No, not until like the 5th or 6th one.
Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Oh, no. It's this one he's coming up on.
He's on the back of that guy's head in the first one.
Well, you get to see him in Goblet of Fire, I think.
Okay.
I'm like, is that guy still alive? And you're like, no, he burned his face.
Like he literally just touched his face and he just was like died. And then in this last movie, Harry he does his Expelliarmus at Snape. Snape goes flying and in Hermione's like, you struck a teacher. And my immediate thought was like, he fucking murdered one in the first movie. No one cared. He didn't even get like a talking to like about murdering staff.
What's the spell? The killing spell. How do you say it? If you want to
it sounds like abracadabra. I don't know what they're saying, but when they say it, it literally sounds like abracadabra. I'm like, and Mason was the one who was like, I think he's like, did he just say abracadabra? I'm like, I hope not.
Abracadaver.
Abracadaver?
Cadaver.
Is that really what it is? Are you making that up?
I think so.
It's all believable because it's all bad. So.
I thought that's what they were saying. Abracadaver.
Swish and flick. Swish and flick.
One true bright spot is I do like Alan Rickman as Snape. I like that Snape is based as fuck. And he's just a dick. And he doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks. And he's just always an asshole.
Ooh,
so I do like Snape.
Big reveal.
The big reveal. Well, Maggie told me some of the stuff. Like Snape is actually... He was like in love with Harry Potter's mom.
Oh God, you know a lot of shit.
Yeah,
because I don't care.
Just stop watching it. You're good.
He's in love with Harry Potter's mom.
Watch something you enjoy.
I think. What else? No, I'm trying to like, dude. And here's the thing: I don't hate the movies. I'm not completely. It does take me about 4 sittings to get through one movie because they're just way too fucking long. Like, this one I'm on now is like 2.5 hours, and I'm like, oh, there's no way that there's 2.5 hours worth of material
book
here.
Was literally this thick, and they put it in one movie.
Yeah,
I kid you not. The book was like,
and they still didn't condense it enough.
All
in my opinion,
3 of the first books.
Can
I get the Cliff Notes?
Thick as fuck.
Yeah.
They
left
nothing's
a lot
happened yet.
out.
Absolutely nothing has happened in this movie. I saw some dancing. I saw a Quidditch match. I saw a giant tent that looks small from the outside.
They always bring the same shit back. It's the same movie every time. Like they'll go through the year.
And that's what I mean. There's no progression. It doesn't progress.
It's going through school.
Driving me fucking nuts.
It's going through a year of school.
It's boring. Going through school is boring. I don't know if you remember. I don't want to watch other people do it. I don't care if there's fucking magic bugs in the room. It's still boring. Just be better. Make your shit entertaining.
I wouldn't mind flying around on Nimbus 2000. That would have been more fun than my school.
Okay, that's true. I guess I don't know,
but I was just a poor.
That doesn't make for an entertaining movie, though.
I was just a poor, lowly muggle.
We're all muggles, and somehow wizarding school is just as boring as regular ass school. I don't get it. Like, it should be way more fun and interesting.
Meanwhile, Shawn's going to Universal Studios. We've taken pictures of himself in Diagon Alley.
Right? I would totally do that. That's a different vibe. I'm down to do that. I
love this world. Who thought up this world? It's amazing.
Thing. There was a closet, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, what is the point of this closet? So there's a closet where your worst fear will come out of it if you point your wand at it. It's like, well, don't open the fucking closet. It's like, what do? You put that in somebody's house? And meanwhile, there's literally things like banging from inside the closet. It's like, it's not a sneak attack. What is the point of this fucking closet? How do you use this?
To face your fear. Duh.
Why?
To overcome your fear. What do you mean, why?
Is that what people do? Is that what they want to do?
Yes, that's how they grow as a person.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's what people are afraid of heights. The first thing you do is go up to a tall
Harry
building.
opens the door, it's Voldemort, and kills him.
Right. But I was just like, what is the point of this? Like, I did not understand it at all.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. I think that might be what they say.
Okay, now I got to look it up.
But they don't explain it's stuff that's supposed to be fascinating, but it's not, because I'm like, it doesn't serve a purpose. I don't get it. It's supposed to be visually.
I can't believe you shit on the score. That's like one of the most well-known scores.
I can't remember it. No, it is not.
Avada Kedavra. Avada Kedavra. AVADA KEDAVRA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Avada.
So there it is.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what he's saying.
Nice reading, Rob. Great job.
Screw it.
John Williams has done so many great scores, and he just phoned this one in.
Dude,
but I don't even remember.
I guarantee you this is on a list of most memorable scores of all time.
That's a good score.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Along with, and Aquaman's on there is a great movie, so I don't really care about this list. It means nothing to me. Your list, take your list, shove it up your ass.
You're wrong on this one, man. I'm sorry. It's great. It's a great.
How could I be wrong about the fact that this is written for a child?
No, we're not saying that. We're saying the score is very memorable.
Yeah, you're right.
You're wrong about that. You're right about everything else.
You guys hummed two different melodies. Do the score together right now. You guys can't do it in unison. You can't do it in unison because you're singing different tunes.
No, because there's so many different ones. Like, we don't know what, there's so many different ones.
You just said the score, the main theme. What's the main theme from the score?
We just sang it, dude. It's a long ass fucking theme.
Both of you guys do that. Start from the beginning.
Don't
you guys go.
No, don't give him the satisfaction.
This is the satisfaction that you can't do it. You can't do it in unison. Yeah, there you go. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Steve just sang it. He's good at
it. Rob did Jaws. He was like, Harry Potter? No, it wasn't. It was definitely Jaws. I rest my case. I can't wait for you guys to hear this.
Dude, we're on a time. We're on a time. We're on a delay. Okay. It's not our fault.
You're not on that.
We're on
not that much of a delay.
Yeah, we
it's
are.
Like a split-second
delay.
Why
would you think I would listen to this podcast?
We see.
All right.
Listen to you rant about Harry Potter for 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. Stop shitting on Harry Potter, man. That's part of my childhood. Go fuck yourself.
It's not part of your childhood. You're 23. That's not your childhood, you fucking moron.
I was a slow developer. Okay, so a lot of people were, past that.
Oh God,
part of my childhood.
Oh boy,
part of my youth.
Again, you were a full-grown ass adult.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Everybody say their goodbyes. I'm really thirsty.
Have you ever used?
I don't have anything.
Have you ever used a razor way too long? Like I should probably dispose of that.
Yeah, but it gets like rusty.
Yeah. I can't. I'm trying to wait on the next Amazon shipment, but I'm like, oh, I gotta shave.
Just let your hair grow out, like me.
Yeah, there you go.
Could do that. Remember using the
what are you
single,
shaving?
Remember you just my face. Remember using the single blade before the Mach 3 came out?
No, I never used a single. I've always used at least a 2-blade.
Oh, really? I used to use the fucking throwaway single.
Were you shaving when you were 5?
Yeah.
like God damn.
Dude, I'm
older than you. They had twin blade razors when I started shaving.
Dude, I used the disposable single blade when I first started shaving.
Oof.
What you call it? The Mach what? The Mach what?
The Mach 3. When
Dude,
it had 3 blades.
I was
Mach 4.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first Mach.
I remember Mach 1.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right, thanks for listening.
Watch Harry Potter.
Bye.